Good afternoon, this is Pat Walker, Mission Winners. It is Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And tomorrow the markets are closed on Juneteenth. U.S. robotics is picking up here, as you can see. Global robotics, excuse me. So you can look at this and say, are there stocks in that group that have been strong? You can see where it lifted off right here and look at the volume. You can go in there and find out what their top 10 holdings are. Now, it's a little bit extended now, and that's a common theme in a lot of areas. And a topping tail here on Friday. So what does that say? Just be a little cautious. It's made a good move here, all right? Don't chase price. That's an important lesson of this video right here. Spots are in here for buying. Up here, you're chasing price. Same thing's true on the daily. Continue onward. Cloud computing lifted across this base, and it's been trending nicely. Are we involved in some software stocks? Yeah, there we go. It's working. Now it's a little bit extended at this point in time, so be cautious with it. This is commodities. It's lifting up, okay, but it's really, look at the weekly. It's really lagging here. There's not a lot of power. Some power is starting to come into it, but it's going to take a lot of catch up. Team, there is a lot of overhead supply there. Be aware of that. Continue onwards here. This is the Dow leveraged ETF, DDM. It's 2 times the leverage of DIA, the diamonds. And you can see it's picking up a little bit of a reversal bar here on Friday. Okay, continue onward. Now there's the diamonds, and you can see the same situation. Bit of a reversal bar and a pickup in volume. Longer base. But if you notice this base, I'd like you to take a good close look at this base here on the weekly. Please remember that, because you're going to see something entirely different as we proceed down the list. Dow Jones Internet stocks weekly, looking good, acting okay. A little bit of a tail bar here and a slight pickup in volume. It's a little bit extended. Please know that. IBD 50, this is still lagging. I mean, it's picking up a little bit, but it's been underperforming. I'm not criticizing IBD 50, no way. I'm just pointing out reality. There's just not a lot of power at this point in time still. Here we go, microsectors. This is a FANG, this is a triple, all right? And you can see it's been lifting up. It's been working. You could have looked at FNGU back here and say, what are some of the stocks in that list? It's a bit extended now. It's a little bit extended on the daily. Be aware of that. You want to catch stocks breaking out of clean and simple basis. You don't want to chase price. That's important to remember. Dorsey Wright, First Trust Dorsey Wright's lifting up a little bit. Still a lot of overhead here, okay? Also, a bit of a tail bar here, or a dropping bar on Friday on a pickup in volume. Some selling volume there. Be aware of this. China's been lagging, okay? Not a lot of leadership here, so just be careful with that. What are the 2 MAXLIST stocks that are Chinese related? BIDU and Alibaba, and both of them have been lagging. By looking at these ETFs, it helps guide us on where there's strength but also weakness. Gold miners, in 1 second, it says stay away from gold miners. You're done. Don't overthink it. There's not a lot of power right now, okay? Now maybe there's a higher low here. There's a ton of overhead. There's better places to go. Same thing's true with GLD. There's no power there. Be careful with the gold, okay? Biotechnology's just chopping around, back and forth. And look at the weekly, chopping around. And by the way, look at this bar. It gaps up and reverses down on a pickup in volume. Tells us there's sellers there. Be careful with that. Oil and gas, just basing, but not showing a lot of power. Software technology, this one's acting okay. See this little base right here? See this run? And yes, we have been, and still are, heavily involved in software stocks, in technology stocks. Big chunk in Microsoft. And it's working. I'm not saying chase it up here, but by using these tactics, you can see this thing's lifting. You could say, way back here in early May, maybe I should look at some software stocks. And we have, and they're working. Continue onwards. Medicine picking up a little bit, kind of choppy here, okay, a little loose, not real clean and simple, but it is starting to show some life. Maybe looking at some medicine. You could punch up IHI and find out what their top 10 holdings are. That would help you. There's a good way to attack this. This is the mid-cap ETF, picking up a little bit, some tail bar here, and here. It's made a decent move, but not tremendous leadership, all right? Aerospace and defense, picking up a little bit, doesn't look too bad. There you go, looking at some aerospace and defense stocks. Home construction's been acting good. Look at this trend here on the weekly. Look at this lift here. Are we heavy home building stocks? Oh yeah, I know we own at least 3, if not 4 of them. okay, with good runs, good trends for a while. It's working here. It's a little extended though, so just be careful with that. Continue onwards. This is the S&P, right, growth index, picking up a little bit here, and I like that. What has it been telling you? Hey, maybe I need to look into some growth stocks. Small caps, picking up a little bit here, but still choppy. Some selling here, some selling here. It needs to push through here on volume. It is a little bit of improvement on the weekly. It does say that, hey, small caps are improving some. That's good to know. Real estate, picking up some here, but tons of overhead supply here. Not a lot of power. Be careful with real estate. That's good to know. Transportation's been picking up. You can see through here. There you go. What has that been saying? Maybe looking at some transportation stocks. It's a little bit extended right now. Be careful with that. Just everything that we're doing here. Airlines related to transports. And it's been acting decent. Look at this lift right here. Look at the volume come through here. I'm going to show you something here kind of neat. And I'll draw this line longer for you. This is what we do in Mission Winners. And it really helps guide us on where to go. Just basing here, right? This is the daily. And we can say, gosh, I guess if it takes out that line on volume, and you can see it on the weekly right here too. I'll draw this for you on the weekly. This is why we look at weekly and dailies. It's already triggered here. This is, watch, I'll show you. Oh, look, it pushes through. That's right here, starting to push through here. Okay, and you can see, and inside bar, and then it lifts off, and you can see this bar right here. This is the weekly, and it's doing it. There we go. Isn't that nice? It's nothing fancy. That's what I love about what we do. And it continues onward. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And here it is, weekly and daily. Now, I'm not saying buy it up here, but I'm just saying by looking at weekly and daily, it really helps us formulate where money's going, where to put money, and things to stay away from. Continue onwards. Regional banks kind of lifting off here a little bit, but tons of overhead supply here, folks. What's that say? Be careful with regional banks. That's power for us. Mid-cap picking up a little bit. We like to see that. Mid-cap stocks. Continue onwards. Oil services, yeah, kind of, but still a little choppy. Be careful with it. All right. Pharmaceuticals picking up some, and that's a plus. That's good to see. All right. Not a tremendous amount of power. And look at the large drop off in volume here. Right. It's picking up, but be careful with pharmaceuticals. In fact, be careful with drugs. How's that sound? Okay. Software. Look at the nice trend in software. And I mentioned it before. What's one of the bigger software stocks we own? Microsoft. Quite a bit. And it's been trending nicely for a while. Look at the base here, folks. That's what you look for. It makes it easy. Software's still strong. There's QLD, NASDAQ 100. Do we own some NASDAQ 100 stocks? You bet we do. It's been telling us to. There you go. Continue onwards. QQQ, same thing as QLD, trending nicely. That's nice to see. Retail picking up a little bit. That's okay. Silver, what does this tell you? Stay away from silver stocks. Steel stocks, not a lot of leadership. Stay away from steel. Semiconductors, been strong. Look at that. Are we involved with semiconductors? Yes, we are. Advanced micro devices from a long time ago. It was telling us. But by using these tactics here, looking at the weekly and daily charts of the sectors, the major index ETFs, the major sector ETFs, it guides us on where to go and things to avoid, as I've said. Spiders, S&P 500 still working. A little bit of a drop here on a pickup in volume on Friday. Okay, so be careful with that. Continue onwards. Here we go. SSO, same situation. This has been lifting, right? A little bit of a drop here. Less volume, but it is a bit extended, so you've got to be careful with it. In 1 second, what does this tell you? Stay away from solar stocks. Done. That's it. Well, maybe it's going to. No, there's all this overhead. Just wait. Leave it alone for now. Here we go. Small cap, as I said with IWM, picking up a little bit. That's good to see. Uranium's acting decent. Maybe looking at some uranium stocks. Oil is still lagging. There's no power in U.S. oil. Be careful with that. Consumer discretionary has been picking up some, and it has been. Right in here. What does that say? Maybe looking at consumer stocks. You could punch up VCR and look at their top 10 holdings. That would help you. Continue onwards. Aerospace and defense picking up a little bit. That's nice to see. Looking at some aerospace and defense. Biotechnology still trying, but sloppy. Here's the daily, here's the weekly. Big tail bar here. Look at this bar here, weak bar, weak bar. Lifting up, a little bit tougher, be careful with it. Home builders, picking up. Are we involved with home? Look at this base here, folks. Have we been involved with home builders? Yes, we have, for a while. KBH, Pulte Homes, two or three others. They're working for us, and it was telling us, hey, there's something you want to look at. That's why I love doing what we do. Materials, that's hanging in there. Now, you take a look here. How do they build things? Well, you need materials. This doesn't look too bad. So build from here and say, maybe this is going to form a little handle here. I like the volume that picked up, as you can see, on this bar. So you might take a look at XLB or the stocks in that group. There we go. Communications has been steadily grinding. That's nice to see. Technology related. That's good. Trends are paying. Energy, do a compare and contrast. Says, oh, this doesn't look too bad. Back here, it didn't look too bad. Maybe looking at some communication stocks. This looks awful. Stay away from energy. Done. Don't overthink it. That really helps us. Financials are improving a little bit, but not a lot of power. Be careful with that. Industrials, hanging in there, grinding up a little bit. That's nice to see. And yeah, looked at that. Look at technology. Look at this base here. I drew this for you. And look at this run. And that's why we are heavy and have been heavy a lot of technology stocks. It's been guiding us. It's telling us that's where to go. So I'm not saying chase it here. Consumer staples, no power, leave it alone. Healthcare picking up a little bit, but a tail bar Friday, not a lot of power, a lot of overhead. Be careful with that. Continue onwards. Consumer discretionary, picking up a little bit. Metals and mining, picking up a little bit. We're about done. Oil services, not a lot of power there, folks. Be careful with that. Retailing, it's okay, right? Software, look at this. Look at this strength in software. It's been strong. And that's why we have, again, a lot of software, a lot of technology stocks. Here's Apple. You see this base right here on Apple? Going across here? Look at that trend. Again, this is the weekly on the left and daily on the right. And we own this. And it's working. And look at the trend. Just let it work. Now, here's a tail bar right here on heavier volume. And then it rallies up. And then here's another tail bar. A little bit of selling coming into it. And you see this? It gaps up and it closes down on a pickup in volume. What does that tell us? Is there a good, safe, clean entry on Apple at this point in time? And the answer is no. It looks like there's a little bit of selling on it. I'm not forecasting that it's going to continue. I'm saying at the moment, be careful with it. I wouldn't buy it up here. All right? There you go. That's power for everybody. Amazon is still basing right here. Maybe, by the way, a price alert sets. We own this from down in here, and it's been a great trend. Look at the trend up the ADMA. That's what we look for. It's just basing here. What does it need to do? Take out these tops. There's an upper alert and a lower alert. What's the one slight negative here? Again, down on heavy volume here, goes up on less volume, down on a pickup in volume here. There's some selling pressure there. Be aware of that. It needs to take out this tops here and do it on really good volume in a good market. Continue up and onwards. Alibaba, look at the weekly. There's just not much power here, folks. Be careful with that. Just not much power. Let's continue onward. You can guess what the next one is. It's BIDU. It's lifting up a little bit, but I mean, I just showed you some that are well above the highs from in March, and this isn't doing much. Take a look at the weekly here. You can see this, and then watch what I do. I'm going to put the cursor right here, the end of March. Well below it. Well below it. Well above it. Look, well above it. Well above it. See that? Here again, I'm going to put my cursor right here on March 24th. Breaks out, well above it. Amazon breaks out right here and here, March 21st, well above it. BABA lifts up, comes back, well below it. BIDU, chopping around, nothing. That tells us where to go and what to avoid. There we go. Let's move on here. Google breaks out, See this base right here? Look at the volume pickup. There it is. We own this, and it's working. And again, I'm not bragging. I'm just pointing out, hey, this is what you look for. Clean and simple bases, lift off. Look at the volume pickup on this bar, folks, here. Do you see this bar here? The volume on this bar was 36 million shares. On this bar, 63 million shares. Almost double. Folks, they voted on this bar, and that's why we bought it. Weekly, daily, working. It's chopping around here right now. There's not a lot of leadership with it, okay? Selling on this bar, selling on this bar. What do we do up here when we see that? It's a great lesson. You sell some into strength. You lock some profits in. There we go. By the way, you see the price alert set? Upper alert and lower alert? We're prepared. We'll watch and see what happens. Nothing to do with it now. Goldman Sachs, just chopping around. There's not a lot of leadership at this point in time. And there was pretty serious selling volume here on Friday. Just be a little careful with that at this point in time. MasterCard, just, it goes up. You see this? It breaks out, but not really on heavy volume, and then they take it down hard. When you see, so this is called wide and loose. Be careful with that. And then look what it does on Friday. Gaps up and reverses and closes down on a big pickup in volume. Stay away from MasterCard for right now. Meta. See the base down here? Do you see the trend on the weekly? You see the trend on the daily? And this has been working for us. Microsoft, look at this clean and simple base, folks. Look at this weekly. Oh, it's so, look at the volume. They voted. And look at this trend. And we're just letting it work. We've sold some into strength. We're in good shape. Now, this is an important lesson for everybody. It gapped up and ran up and reversed and closed near the lows on a pickup in volume. Be careful with that. Netflix, see the base down here? Here it is. Look at that. It was a cup and a handle. Look at the volume pickup on that bar. They voted. And by the way, please know, this isn't like, oh, Pat's bragging and thumping his chest. No. Yeah, I get enthused about this. I love teaching this to people. I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years. This is what I taught every month on the stage. What to look for. Turn off the noise. Clean and simple base. MAXLIST stock. Cup with a handle. Look at the volume on that bar. And it's trending nicely. Good entry and trends pay. But have you also noticed many of these are dropping on a pickup in volume at the end of the week? Be a little cautious at this point in time. NVDA is still great, working. By the way, I have to show you this. This is important. You see this base down here? This was on the key list. This is a higher low setup. There was a buy right here. There was a buy down here. See the volume pickup? Crossing that line and more here. Good entry and trends pay. There you go. And it works. From down in here. Trending. Now, it's extended here. This is an important lesson. See where it ran up on good volume? Down on less volume, but still decent close. Reverse. It's very extended. There's no edge in buying up here. All right? I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not telling you what to do, but I wouldn't buy this up here. All right? Wait till it forms another base. Till then, you just wait. Tesla. You see this base down here? I'll draw this for you. See the volume pickup on that bar? Right there. And trends pay. And it's working. It's working. There's another entry right there. And it's trending. 8-period exponential moving average. You just let it work. Where's it going to stop? I don't know. We don't need to know. Just get in line with it. Have we sold some into strength? Yes. But remember, good entry and trends pay. Now I need to take this a step further. I'd encourage you, there's no edge in chasing price up here and making this your first buy. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm trying to help. I've been doing this a long time, and so I hope it helps. That's my goal at Mission Winners. Visa, I mean, look at this. Oh, this is trending nicely. Look at this. This is like taking spaghetti noodles out of the package, breaking them in half and throwing them on the floor. This is wide and loose. High investor emotion, stay away from it. There's nothing to do with it at this point in time. Remember this, please. Clean and simple base entry is the best setup to make money. Why? Let's be pragmatic. We're not the only people in the world looking at the charts. more people. If we focus on basis everybody can see, does it not increase the potential that A, they see it, and B, they'll act on it? Yes. We combine price analysis backed by what? Volume. Volume means people are voting.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.